It all started with this post on the Facebook group, "Are We Dating the Same Guy?" When Olivia and Vanessa saw the post and all the comments, they added their own experiences.
He seemed, in my opinion, pretty smug and very arrogant. The entire date, he was putting me down for various things, my job included.
Vanessa never went on a date with Murray because she says she didn't like the messages he sent her, at one point even calling her a moron.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend, your favorite single mother TikTok divorced dating coach here, back again with another video. And on today's episode, we have an absolutely hilarious one for you here today from Manosphere Highlights Daily, titled "Chad Sues 50 Women for Defamation After Negative Comments on a Facebook Dating Group." So, guys, for some context here before we jump into the video, basically, you have a bunch of women who have joined a Facebook dating group for "Are We Dating the Same Guy?" So it's a bunch of lonely, single, bitter women in a Facebook dating group talking about the guys that they've dated previously in their area. And of course, anyone with a brain knows that they are, of course, dating all of the same group of men. It's a very funny thing to watch happen. But a lot of these women left some negative comments about a guy. A lot of them, 50 plus apparently. And this guy just came out and said, "You know what, I'm going to sue all of you." And now the women are claiming, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. So this is a hilarious video, guys. Make sure you lock in. We'll give it a watch. As always, if you're interested in supporting the channel, you want to get some more content, make sure you join us on fiendgang.locals.com. It'll be linked at the pinned comment. But otherwise, let's take a listen to this particular video.
Well, can a bad date land you a court date after you post about it online?
He somehow found those comments that we did make. Again, they were factual and they were based in our true experiences.
Whenever you have one of these women say that something is based in their true experiences or true experience, chances are it's a complete and utter made-up lie. Oh, and the reason why this man was able to find your so-called private group is because these groups just allow anyone to join. He probably made a fake account and joined it and saw all of the slander that you were talking about him.
The First Amendment protects you from any laws meant to limit your free speech, but it doesn't prevent someone from taking you to court because they don't like what you said about them online. Now, a group of women say they're being bullied into silence by a guy who didn't like what they had to say about his online dating behavior.
It's very bizarre. The accusations, they're baseless.
I feel not just for myself, but for my co-defendants and for the other women that he's gone after.
Olivia Berger and Vanessa Valdez are just two of multiple women being sued for defamation, libel, sex-based discrimination, and other allegations by Stuart Lucas Murray.
He's basically suing us for $2.6 million in damages.
It all started with...
What an absolute king, by the way. Guys, can you imagine for a moment, okay, look how angry she is. Can you imagine for a moment if men had these groups where, you know, oh, was my girlfriend someone who used to sleep around? Is my girlfriend someone awful? Are we all dating the same girl? Can you imagine if men had these groups where we shared dating, you know, dating profiles from women and gave them reviews and things like this? Oh, the men would be absolutely slandered for this, okay? But these women decide to make their little groups where they complain about men and talk about, let's be honest, the same group of men that don't want to commit to them. And then they cry when they get slapped with a lawsuit. Absolutely hilarious.
It all started with this post on the Facebook group, "Are We Dating the Same Guy?" When Olivia and Vanessa saw the post and all the comments, they added their own experiences.
He seemed, in my opinion, pretty smug and very arrogant. The entire date, he was putting me down for various things, my job included.
Vanessa never went on a date with Murray because she says she didn't like the messages he sent her, at one point even calling her a moron.
Everything I said was just my experience with him and my opinions on how I think you know, he should not be on dating sites.
Starting with Section 230, remind us what it is and how that protects social media companies.
It gives them the protection to not be held liable, to not face a lawsuit for things that are posted on the website. In its basic shell, that's what it is. And so with this class action suit, yes, all he sees is dollar signs. If you're an attorney, you're like, you got Facebook and you got millions of people that are on this group, you potentially got millions of clients. I mean, in America, they say 1.8 million are in this group. In London, almost 100,000. And so you got folks all around the world that could be potential clients. So I see him seeing dollar signs, but there are limitations. You're not suing these individuals. You're going to want to try to go after the big fish, and that's Meta. But if you can't get to them because of Section 230, there's really not a big payout in here.
You know what I think, guys? I think a lot of these women are just straight up bitter about the guys on these dating applications because a lot of these men won't give them relationships, right? A lot of these guys are arrogant and they, you know, treat it as a game because these guys have so many options with women that they don't have to do anything. They don't have to go out on dates. They don't have to treat them like ladies. And so you have these women who jump on here and complain about, oh, he's the worst guy ever. But, you know, they still date him. If 50 women complain about their dating experiences with you, you know, they never had to go on dates with you. A lot of guys can't even get 50 matches in the first place.
Case will make it to court.
Because a judge at this early stage can't believe one side or the other, that's a jury question. So this case will likely go to trial if it doesn't settle.
And without representation and not a lot of expendable income to fight a lawsuit, the women worry this could bankrupt them.
At the end of the day, these kinds of suits don't just affect me and Vanessa and our co-defendants, and I feel that a lot of times women are still being silenced.
I love how the woman at the start, check this out, the woman at the start claimed that this was like, you know, a private group where they share reviews. I don't care if the group is private, it has 50,000 members. People can join as they wish, basically. You just make a free account on Facebook, Meta, whatever you want to call it. You join this group and you have women in here just roasting men. So I don't really see the problem here. I think a lot of these women are stressing out and they're claiming nonsense about this guy because they can't afford lawyers. They can't afford, you know, they ran their mouth and then they found out and now they don't have the money to defend themselves. So they have to jump in front of a camera and claim that they are the victims in this situation. I tell you what, guys, you know, stuff like this is really quite dangerous for men. I'm not joking when I say that a lot of the dating scenarios are dangerous for men. Okay, women do this. This is not some joke, guys. Chances are, if you're in a big, like a metropolitan city, chances are your city probably has one of these groups. Like, go and have a look on Facebook after you watch this video, and chances are there'll be a group for your particular area. Like, this stuff is really incredibly common.
I feel that a lot of times women are still being silenced.
If you know, any support would be appreciated. We are hoping for pro bono work in our.
Yeah, see, look, now they're begging for someone to come and represent them because they don't have the money, right? I think we're painting this guy out to be a piece of crap now, and we're getting in front of cameras because we don't have the money to defend the stupid things that we said in the first place.
Our experience and look appreciated. We are hoping for pro bono work in our experience and looking for representation. It doesn't seem likely, but any funds can help us get through this. We definitely appreciate it.
The invite-only group, Are We Dating the Same Guy, started with seemingly pure intentions.
This is, I'm gonna have to pause it again. Sorry, guys. This is not an invite-only group. You just apply to join, and then they'll accept. They're not inviting you, as far as I understand. So check this out. Are We Dating the Same Guy? Charlotte, North Carolina. 34K members in this one. Your membership is pending approval, so you've just got to answer their questions, and then they'll just let you in. So you can just make some fake account and answer the questions, and then just, you know, jump straight into these groups, which, by the way, is so embarrassing for women, by the way. If you're a woman and you're in one of these groups, that's straight up embarrassing. Are we dating the same guy?
I started with seemingly pure intentions.
Hey, I've been dating my boyfriend for 2 years. He's acting weird. Is anyone dating him?
On its webpage, the founder says she operates red flag awareness groups around the world with the goal to keep women safe from, quote, dangerous or toxic men.
That was the plan. Not a great plan.
Have you guys noticed that some of my videos have gone missing over here on YouTube? That is because I am slowly moving them over to locals where I can actually host them without the risk of getting in trouble. If you are not aware, many creators are starting to move over to places like locals, Rumble, etc. because YouTube is not really a free speech platform. So if you are interested in supporting the channel and getting access to videos that are no longer available here, make sure that you come and join us over on locals. The link will be in the video description down below. Supporters get access to their own exclusive videos that are no longer available to the public. So make sure you go to the link in the description and join us over there now. But anyway, guys, back to today's episode.
Each page is location-based. The one here in Charlotte has 34,000 members, some of whom didn't want to talk on camera out of fear they'd get kicked out of the group.
They have no idea that they're even being posted on there.
Look at this, guys, right? This is one of the group rules for the one that we just saw that had 34,000 members, I believe it was. It says, you will be permanently banned from this group and all affiliated groups, so there's a bunch of them, if you tell any men about them being posted in this group. So essentially, women can post you to this group and they get banned from the group if they tell you or warn you in any way that you've been posted and are being talked about and gossiped about in these groups. You know, I'm fully behind dudes who are suing these groups for defamation. Okay, it's absolutely ridiculous. Can you imagine if men were around here doing this, where we posted, you know, reviews about these women and we wanted to know, for example, our girlfriend's bedroom past and things like this, or am I dating a good woman? Oh, we'd be absolutely torn to bits. You can already see the headlines, you know, all of these ISL dating groups popping up. Meta needs to do something about this, blah, blah, blah. I guarantee you this would be the stuff coming out of mainstream media. But because it's girls, it's, oh, it's got a good intention, blah, blah, blah. Despite the fact that you literally can't even tell dudes about the fact that they are being posted unknowingly in these groups.
Because the first rule of are we dating the same guy they stole from Fight Club is you can't talk about it.
The goal, creators say, is to protect women, not judge men.
The whole group is designed to judge men. What? It's funny how you have people who will say that they're doing one thing, but their actions are literally completely doing the exact opposite, by the way. Insanity.
I honestly think the page should be shut down. It's dangerous for both men and women, the poster and the person being posted.
But Jackson says the sites aren't functioning as intended. The posts, many anonymous, she says aren't vetted with significant repercussions.
There's people that have had their houses broken into, tires slashed, and this goes for the women in the group too. If they post something or they comment and it gets back to the man that's actually posted, which it does, then the women are in danger as well.
When you've reached out to Meta or Facebook, what kind of responses have you gotten, if any?
None. None at all.
We contacted Murray for comment, but he declined an on-camera interview. Instead, he directed us to this website with a long statement that says in part, "This action is not a game, and the accusations against the defendants are serious. I rejected each of them and cut them off quite swiftly."
Yes, so this guy, do it, cut them off, apparently. Now, I don't know how much truth is behind this, okay, guys, but what I personally think is that a lot of these women in these groups are incredibly bitter because the men won't date them. And so then they just say negative things about the guy and they make up a whole bunch of nonsense because they're mad that the man didn't want to date them. Okay, I've always said on this channel, guys, that when men have preference or when men don't accept things like commitment, right? So if a man doesn't want to commit to a woman, society and women will treat it as though it's a problem, right? If a man says, no, thank you, I'm not interested, or if a man wants to, you know, live his single life, as we're calling it these days, okay, it's a problem. But if a woman does it, it's strong and empowering. I think a lot of these defendants were really just bitter women who couldn't get what they wanted out of this particular guy. So he says, I rejected each of them and I cut them off quite swiftly. Hilarious.
Instead of going their separate ways, they went on for months and years to spread misinformation about me and countless others. Their actions were deliberate, and they are now playing the victims.
You know, I've actually been, guys, I've infiltrated one of these groups before. I strongly suggest that you look them up in your city after these videos, after this video, excuse me, and take a look for yourself, because there are lots of these groups, and a lot of them say some pretty nasty things about the men in the group, and they don't need to provide evidence or anything like this. They just say their opinions, and a lot of these women are just posting from anonymous accounts. So they're like reviewing guys and saying what they're like, and a lot of them posting are completely anonymous. And these groups are just absolutely disgusting. You know, the guys don't even know that they're being posted or talked about.
Unquote. His full statement will be up on our website.
Of course, we've taken the time to review Murray's full statement, and there's an interesting point that the news overlooks. Murray stated, and I quote, "I would like to preface that I support a safe space for women to protect themselves against being stalked, harassed, or harmed, and not the other way around. These women exploited the concept of a safe space to gossip, defame, and cyberbully anyone at whim. Not only is this illegal, it is overwhelmingly selfish and on their part to put their needs and amusement over the privacy and rights of others." End quote. We agree with this aspect of his statement because there is a clear line that should never be crossed. It's a sentiment we have repeatedly reiterated on this platform. We do not harbor hostility toward women. We do not hate women. Our message is not about promoting hate, but rather about protecting ourselves at all times, which is what this men's space is for. Unfortunately, there are individuals who abuse platforms and turn them into ways to do harm. It's a sad reality that there are bad actors in every community, capable of tainting the experience for everyone involved. It is worth noting that Murray is not the only one taking legal action against members of this Facebook group. Check this out.
Mark Trent represents a Chicago man who claims Meta, Facebook, Are We Dating the Same Guy, and dozens of group members defamed and attacked his client's moral character by publishing false accusations about him on the site. In one instance, a group member shared a news article of another man who was charged with sexually assaulting a woman he met on a dating app. The plaintiff, Nico, apparently isn't the only one experiencing personal and false accusations that hurt more than just the ego.
Yeah, see, check this stuff out, right? So this is like 3 comments from the group. So the first woman said that she talked with him and it went nowhere. This one here says, "I went out with him a few times just over a year ago. He told me what I wanted to hear until I had fun with him, and then he ghosted me. I'd steer clear." It's kind of funny when you think about it, right? Because all the women in here are just, you know, essentially posting L's. This is what I'm talking about, because you have these women who go out, they have fun with him, right? And always notice how it's always the victim. He told me what I wanted to hear. I reckon a lot of women who actually say this just wanted to get with the guy, and they just have to like make it sound acceptable. "Oh, I was manipulated. He told me what I wanted to hear." I don't always buy this nonsense until I had fun with him and then he ghosted. See, a lot of these women, they turn into bitter women who get really angry at these guys because they can't get commitment.
Women are posting pictures of men and basically defaming them, making nasty comments, malicious comments. We've had men call us, say that they've been put on administrative leave, that they lost their job, that they didn't get promoted, that women will call them up and disengage from them from dating because they had one of their friends check them out on these groups.
Yeah, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about with the dangers of dating for men. So not only are you on the line to lose a whole bunch of your assets, you're on the line to lose your income, your kids if you have any, your house, all of this sort of stuff, right? But you're also on the line to lose your job because of baseless accusations, because, you know, women can get in these groups, they can run their mouth with absolutely no evidence whatsoever, and all of a sudden you can find yourself out of work. Okay, what on earth is this? These groups are absolutely ridiculous. You have everyday guys who are being posted in these groups who don't know that they are being posted in these groups, who have serious repercussions as a result of them. And just by the way, guys, you know, if a girl stops dating you because she sees you in one of these groups, I'm very skeptical about this whole situation. I personally view these groups as kind of like advertisement, right? Like if you're a dude and you get posted in these groups and, you know, the women are complaining that you have commitment issues, I actually think that you know, that serves to advertise a lot of the men to other women personally, you know, because a lot of women chase dudes that are wanted by other women. So it's kind of like this big hilarious circle where you have a whole bunch of women posting L's about chasing the same dude. Little do they realize it just encourages more women to chase that same dude. But over time, you do collect bitter women who will try and defame you and do this sort of nonsense.
And put on administrative leave, that they lost their job, that they didn't get promoted, that women will call them up and disengage from them from dating because they had one of their friends check them out on these groups.
One of the defendants is from South Carolina, but Trent believes some of the accounts operate under fake names. He also believes Meta is to blame and anticipates it's only a matter of time until he has a class action lawsuit.
Nico's image was always at the top of the page that was being monetized by Facebook through Facebook ads and otherwise. Well, how did that happen? It would only happen if Facebook was involved with the programming behind the group, not the group itself.
This is terrible. The allegations that the men are making is saying that it's not just hurting their feelings, but it's hurting their careers, it's hurting their lifestyle, it's hurting their life. And so I could see a problematic situation unfolding, but if he can't point to a smoking gun that shows that Facebook not just encouraged it, not just allowed it, but actually contributed to it, this is getting dismissed.
I think this guy is probably going to have a hard time, you know, getting Meta in a lawsuit about this. But, you know, he might very well end up getting these 50+ women in this particular group for harassment and things like this. Okay, it's just absolutely hilarious how these groups exist, and these women, like, they think they're being sneaky and they think they're doing everything right, but these are essentially public groups. They say that they're private groups just for, like, you know, safety and all of this nonsense, but really they're not. A lot of the women in these groups are incredibly bitter, they're incredibly awful people, and now that they're being sued, they have to bring it to media attention to hopefully get some funding from someone who believes the nonsense that they're saying. Okay, and personally, guys, like, you know, these women who are complaining about, oh, this guy, he said some mean words or he manipulated me. I don't care. This is the average experience for men. You want to talk about getting some mean words or people ghosting you or people not being very nice or manipulating you. This is the average experience of the average man. But when it happens to women, guys, we have to make 34,000 people in a group about it, right?
That shows that Facebook not just encouraged it, not just allowed it, but actually contributed to it, this is getting dismissed.
As the legal battle unfolds, it raises important questions about freedom of speech, privacy, and the role of online communities in modern society. Only time will tell the outcome of this complex and contentious lawsuit. Here are some strategies for men to protect themselves in the online dating world. Avoid online dating. The men who are suing these women are not your average men. Women only date the top 10% of the men on these dating apps. These women have no money for attorneys, as we have shown you in the video.
I actually think that women are dating a smaller percentage of men than the top 10%. Like, if you guys ever watch women swipe on dating applications, they ignore the vast majority of guys. They'll swipe no on you if one foot is bigger than the other. Like, it really doesn't matter. Oh, this guy, you know, he posted a picture with his car and I don't like that model car, so I'm going to swipe no on it. Or this guy, he posted a picture with his friends. Is he trying to hide from me? I don't like where his friends are. I'm going to swipe no on him. Like, it takes such little, right? But if the dude is attractive enough, oh yeah, she'll swipe on him. And it's actually a very, very small percentage of men. Okay, because in order for a man to be attractive, if he's not just genetically gifted in the face, like right away from birth, it takes a lot of work for a guy to be attractive. He has to hit the gym for years, or he has to be on some sauce, right? And so you have these women who are dating these top percentage of guys, and then they complain about it because they can't get commitment from him. Okay, you guys saw literally one of the 3 comments that was displayed on the video is like, oh, he told me what I wanted to hear and then he didn't end up committing to me. Boo-hoo, don't care. Have fun being alone with your cats. This is what you get for chasing these guys who don't want to commit to you. It's really, guys, it's really not that hard. These women play it out as though it's so difficult and men just keep manipulating them. It's not very hard to tell if a man's not going to commit to you. Not hard.
Prevention is better than cure. Vet your matches. If you do decide to date, research your potential dates before meeting them in person. Look for red flags and trust your instincts. We have many videos to help you spot the red flags. Limit personal information. Be cautious about sharing personal details online, including your full name, address, and workplace. Document interactions. Keep records of your conversations and interactions with matches, especially if you encounter any concerning behavior. Seek legal advice. If you believe you've been defamed or targeted unfairly online, consult with a lawyer to understand your rights and options.
Isn't it crazy how quickly this crap escalates to the point where men have to get legal advice if they want to date Western women? Right, this is exactly why men leave Western society to go date other women. This is exactly why, because they don't want to deal with this nonsense. Look at this, right? These people turn into like professional victims. They talk all of this smack in these groups, right? They say how, you know, and they will literally dox these men. I want to make this clear. I don't think I made this very clear. But, you know, they're showing the dude's name. They're showing the dude's picture in these groups. They're showing everything, you know, they're showing the guy, right? And then they talk all of this crap. And then it just bites them in the backside. And now it's, oh, we're a victim. This is so unfair. This was my true experience. Get out of here. And I want to make this clear as well. These are, oh, this is my true experience and this is my truth and stuff like this. Oftentimes it's incredibly distorted. Okay, I hope this guy gets this 2.whatever million out of these women. Look at this guy. I hope this guy gets the millions out of these particular women. Let me see if I can find that part in the video. Yeah, see? They're matching with this guy. So he's an older gentleman. You know, if you put this guy in some nice photos, up in the, you guys can't really see this, but if you took some real nice photos of this guy, he would clean up all right. And a lot of the women would say, you know, he looks like a successful older guy. And then they cry and they get bitter when they can't get a relationship out of him. Hilarious. Like, look at this. In front of the cameras, this one on the right here is like seeking pro bono work from a lawyer. That is to say, she wants a free representation because she couldn't afford to run all that smack. It's just so funny. Here we go. So here's a picture of the guy. You see, he'd clean up all right in dating profiles and things like this. I think a lot of older women, a lot of the women who are in like their early 30s and going to their 30s and stuff like this would be like, you know, what a nice, pleasant-looking guy. His hairline's not too bad. He's got some nice, straight, white teeth. He's got a dress shirt on. Maybe he's a bit successful. Oh, I'll DM him and see how things go, right? And then they find out that the man doesn't want to commit to them, and they cry about it in Facebook dating groups. Absolutely hilarious stuff here. So he says that they went in there to gossip on him, defame him, cyberbully him, etc. And I think that there were some pretty serious allegations, like some pretty serious things that the women said about him in these particular groups. I know he has a webpage, blah, blah, blah. So they obsessively tracked him, stalked him, and incited harassment against him. These are women with who I had little to no interaction. In every case of interaction, I rejected each one of them and cut them off quite swiftly. Instead of going their separate ways, they got mad. You know, it's pretty funny. Absolutely hilarious. I hope this guy walks away. So yeah, the first rule of the group, guys, is you will be permanently banned from this group and all affiliated groups if you tell any men about them being posted in this group. If this is not harassment, I really don't know what is. But, you know, we'll see how this unfolds. And we'll see how these professional victims get along. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you leave your thoughts and your comments. If you're interested in supporting this channel, make sure you come and join us over on Locals. You can join for free as well if you want to get videos that are no longer available here on YouTube. But otherwise, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.